Hello, dear friends. I'm with you. One of the coolest hardcore mods, Scape and Run the first hair has been updated. In general, since I told you about this mod the last time, there have already been several updates in it. But today, we are going to talk only about the last of them, because it is very cool, and several new mobs have appeared in it at once, including even the unfortunate Ender Dragon. Yes, the Parasites have already reached Ender. In the most recent update, namely in 1.9.2, the mod developers added to us as many as 4 new varieties of parasites, 2 new potion effects, 6 new items, a new block, some global changes for colonies, and some little things like new sounds, new configs, different fixes, and everything in that spirit. Well, we will begin to consider the update, of course, with mobs, and the first thing I personally wanted to see when I read the change log was, of course, the dragon. When the parasites first appeared, I'm sure many people tried to imagine what a particular CBM would look like if it was infected. And of course, the infected Ender Dragon seemed to us a terrible, indestructible boss. So, since infected Endermen appeared travelers between worlds, it's not surprising that they brought the infection to Wender. And look what happened to the poor dragon, once the coolest creature in all of Minecraft. His mouth was completely smashed, he was covered with growths from parasites, the skin peeled off from the paws to the meat, and even the meat fell off from the tail. There was only one spine left. In short, no matter how you look at it, it's a terrible sight. With such serious damage, the dragon, however, did not really lose its power. He is still able to fly and spew his dragon Ender breath. However, now this breath is not at all what it used to be, and it will not be possible to collect it in a bottle. Now, in addition to damagging, it also imposes on you the effects of second-level virality and poisoning. This form of dragon is assimilated. That is, the parasites have just got used to it, and in theory, rebirth should await him further, by analogy with other assimilated forms. The health of such an Ender Dragon is 260 units, but the boss scale does not appear when meeting him yet. His base attack has as much as 30 units, armor 25, resistance to discarding is equal to 1, which means that this mob can't be thrown back. As for where he should spawn, there are rumors that he should appear in Ender at a certain stage of infection. But this is not yet certain. By the way, I forgot to warn you that all the parasites added in this version of the mod have not yet been finalized. Therefore, everything that concerns their special properties, they are not yet there, but they will definitely be. We must assume that you need to wait for them in one of the next updates. We go further. A parasite called a primitive devourer or devourer. This means that this thing has to evolve to an adapted version. But the adapted version has not been added yet, so let's see what the absorber is like at its primitive stage. This is a kind of spider-like entity, on legs, which has a long jaw stretched down. If we put her to sleep on land, then after a while, she will start to get very sick, and she will die. The fact is that it is exclusively an aqueous form. And this is perhaps the first parasite in fashion that has adapted to a completely introductory existence, so we are not safe underwater now either. His health is 60 units by default, and it's not even in the configs yet. 2 forms of real parasites have also appeared. This is Heath and Cracks. The name Hit can be translated as caution or attention. It looks like something spider-like, with a lot of human heads sticking out of it. Apparently, thanks to his heads, he must have increased observation. His default health is 50 units. Base attack 15, base armor 9, drop resistance 0.7. That is, it's not so easy to throw back this mob. Cracks means literally translated, this is the essence, the main reason, something key and defining the problem. The health of this parasite is 70 units, the base attack is 20, the defense is 9. The resistance to discarding is the same as the previous one, that is 0.7. It looks like something huge bipedal, Hulk-like, followed by a trail of black particles. Apparently, this parasite will cause many of our problems in life when it is finalized, but already at the moment, he is able to give you a lot of trouble. He has very strong punches, but fortunately he's not so fast that you can't escape. But don't be happy. He can pull out blocks near him, be it earth or stone, and throw them at the player, and even if you are in diamond armor, it will take you out with a couple of hits. In fact, there is another new mob in fashion, and, although there is not a word about it in the blog, but in fact, it exists, and at the same time, it does not exist. It is called a heavy bomber, and there is a spawn egg for it. But if you use this egg, you will get a crash of the game, so you can't look at it yet. I suspect that in the near future, the developer will post a modified version, and you and I will be able to take a look at this very bomber. 2 new effects, enhanced feelings and sacrifice. The first one is designed for parasites, and under certain circumstances, they will appear immediately with this effect, and this effect increases the range of mobs' pursuit by 10%. The second effect should be applied exclusively to the players, but what exactly it does is still not clear. The new block is an active parasitic cyst. It is something like a chest. All the waste from killing by parasites gets there, and it consumes all this loot. From the outside, the consumption process is visible as black particles. Well, after some time, this active parasitic cyst turns into a normal one. New items are weapons and parts to create them. Weapons are a living sword and a living cleaver. Both have 11 damage, and both are effective against parasites. Among the significant updates are a couple of new mechanics. One of them is intended for colonies of parasites. At the same time, the parasites that are in the colony's area of operation transmit a signal to the entire colony about the danger they encountered and information about what happened to them. Thus, all new parasites inside the colony immediately have knowledge of one or another type of attack. And immediately these types of attacks will have a very weak effect on them. Note that earlier parasites adapted to attacks individually, but now they are able to share knowledge with their colony. That is, they have a collective mind. If the parasite was killed by fire, then he will not be able to transfer anything anywhere. And to delete their already accumulated group memory, you will have to destroy the colony core. The second mechanics is the mechanics of smell, but it is still experimental, and it is not clear whether it will be applied in the end. The mechanics are quite complicated, but in a nutshell, it is used to attract parasites. As far as I understand, it works like this. You kill the parasite, and the smell spreads from it. The more you kill, the more their corpses stink. And this attracts the attention of other parasites, and they begin to look for the source. This way they will be pulled together to where you are. It doesn't make sense to talk about this topic in more detail yet, because it's not known how it will look in the end. When the stable version of the mod is released, that's when we will return to this issue and analyze it with all care. Well, so I showed you a new parasite. For a long time, we have been waiting for at least some significant update of this mod, and finally they waited. It is clear that the developers did not sit idly by, but worked very hard to create new mechanics and new mobs. Of course, it catches the eye that they are not finished yet, the textures are weak, and the abilities are not prescribed. But already now, you can understand that they will be very cool. They have amazingly well-designed models, and they are getting better and better. There are more small details. So now not only the infected mobs look scary, but the parasites themselves take very threatening forms. Their names are also promising. So we can expect that they will add us hardcore to the game in full. Someone from the regular viewers of the channel probably remembers that I have long said that there are not enough water parasites in fashion, and finally it happened. The developers have pleased us with a waterfowl monster. It seems to me that they could have been made more. For example, there are many small ones that would swim in whole shoals and keep in good shape. Those players who are trying to hide from parasites in underwater bases and Ender the Dragon here has no comments at all. I am sure that this is a long-standing dream of all fashion lovers. It remains now for the parasites to get to Nether, although, of course, they will have a hard time there. After all, there is fire everywhere, which they do not like so much. So it may soon turn out that players will be able to survive just the same, exclusively in Hell. Well, what do you think about the update, my dear viewers? What parasites are missing for complete happiness for you personally? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments under the video. And don't forget to put a husky of your Marunyashka, because I tried very hard. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And see you soon. Bye bye.